Right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the final celebration assembly, or certainly the final one online of this period. So today we are thinking about the last 8 weeks of lockdown, and we're trying to forget about the bits that we want to forget about, and we're trying to remember and celebrate all the great bits that have happened during this period. So I know it's going to be a little bit different today. We've got some thank yous from our teachers. I know we've got a few thank yous for the teachers and a few other things thrown in as well. So thanks for joining us. If there are people who aren't with us at the moment, send them a little text, get them involved, because it's nice to have everyone here. Oh, and I've got my Inspired to Believe t-shirt on. These are still available to order should you wish to have one. Right, so we are going to start, as we always do, with our reception teams. Let's hear about what they've got to say. So reception say, we are so incredibly proud of each and every child in reception. They are all superstars and have absolutely smashed home learning, taking every change over the past months in their stride. The reception children have worked so hard and been so resilient throughout the whole of this period, especially as this is their first year in school. We couldn't be prouder of how they always have a smile on their faces and make sure that we have smiles on our faces too. From building buses and obstacle courses to showing us favourite toys and playing games on Teams calls, we've had so much fun with all of you, even if we haven't been able to be in the same room as you. Some highlights have included playing phonics games, including Splat the Sound, lots of cooking, including bread making, pancakes, and lots of cakes, and learning about different animals by watching a video of Mrs. Webb's son showing us his new lambs on the farm. We're so grateful for all of the support the reception team have received from our families, and we want to say a huge thank you to all of the support they've given the children constantly. It's wonderful to see the children enjoying their time at home, even if it's been different and challenging at times. We've also enjoyed spending time with the children who've been in school and doing lots of exploration around the school grounds. We want to say a thank you to our incredible and very patient parent reps who are constantly at the end of a text when we've needed them to help us share information, especially if it's been last minute, and of course, all of our daily videos. We'd also like to say a massive thank you to all of the support staff in and around reception. The reception team of Mrs. Binding, Mrs. Webb, Miss Davey, and Mrs. Pierce are, as always, giving us the most incredible support as a team, and we've been keeping each other's spirits high throughout all of the changes. Lastly, we'd like to say thank you to Mr. Winterburn, Mr. Woodworth, Mrs. Marsden, Mrs. Roberts, and Mrs. Walsh, who have been incredible supports to us and to the children, and who have always helped us through with a smile and chocolate at times. We're so proud of the children in reception. We cannot tell you how excited we are to see you all again on Monday, to be playing and learning with you again. That's from Miss Cook and Miss Dolby. Now, before we do a round of applause, what have the families got to say back to you, Miss Cook and Miss Dolby? So to Miss Cook, they say, Miss Cook is the best. What could have been a tough year for reception with the excitement of starting school and then having to stop so soon has been made easier by having the support from the amazing reception team and their home learning videos. Thank you to all of you involved with everyone. Miss Cook always puts a smile on the faces of the children whenever they receive their daily videos, and they love to see Pebbles in the back being cheeky. From her epic dance moves to bird watching, she's shown us all how much fun it would be to be in her class, and I think it's safe to say that we've all enjoyed taking part. Thank you for keeping the kids and parents engaged and supported over the past 8 weeks of home learning. We are all immensely grateful for such an amazing teacher as ours. And to Miss Dolby, they say, thank you so much for making RD's lockdown learning so much fun. We've missed being with you, but have enjoyed all the fun activities you've set for us. We all love the daily shout outs and our games on the Teams calls. Those who have been able to be with you for summertime in school really appreciate all of your hard work to keep things as normal as possible in school too. We enjoyed being at home, but absolutely love being in school altogether. The whole reception team has been nothing but amazing. So to all of our reception shout outs, a big round of applause. So the year one team, this is what they've got to say. Year one, what can we say? The way you've handled the transitions you've faced during the first 2 years of primary school has been unbelievable. Your maturity, adaptability, and positivity is admirable, and we're so proud of every single one of you. You've all worked incredibly hard over the home learning period, and we are also looking forward to welcoming back your smiley faces on Monday. You're a bunch of stars, and we feel so lucky to know you all. We've loved catching up with you on our Teams calls, and it has been your big smiles and cheeky giggles that have kept us going, even on our grumpy days. We also know that none of this would be possible without your wonderful families. So families, thank you to all of you. You've taken your new job in your stride, and we've definitely found ourselves jealous of your creativity. You've made our lives a million times easier by always being so supportive, kind, and willing. The gap between home and school would not be able to be bridged without our amazing parent reps, Jody and Jody. Nothing is ever too much trouble for you. We're so grateful for everything that you've done for us, and we really can't thank you enough. Of course, this shout out comes from Miss Evans and Miss Clark, but we would be nothing without the rest of our incredible year one team, Mrs. Grotsky, Mrs. Pedley, and Mrs. Morton Sherwood. Thank you for the endless laughs, the consistent support to us and the children, and for just being all-round legends, not just through this period, but always. Thank you to Mrs. Marsden for always being there to lend a hand, be an ear to listen, or just generally bring the bants. And finally, thank you to Mr. Winterburn and the rest of the SLT for guiding us through this crazy time. Roll on Monday, they say. So what have we got to say to Miss Evans and Miss Clark? Well, to Miss Evans, first off, well, thank you doesn't seem enough. Just 2 words cannot possibly explain how grateful we are for all of your help and support, your guidance and patience, and your quick and helpful feedback. You not only help the children in 1E every day, but as parents too. Nothing was ever too much trouble. You answered every question or query instantly, it seemed. Your videos on YouTube were fantastic every day, and seeing you on screen made the children more keen to do their home learning. Thank you for being such a special teacher to 1E. They are all looking forward to being back with you, as are we parents. Miss Evans, you are a real star. And to Miss Clark, they say, to our lovely Miss Clark, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. You have been truly amazing. You've been such a great support through this time. Your encouragement, kindness, and enthusiasm has been amazing as you've helped guide us through this time and through the home learning. Thank you for all your lovely messages and videos that you've put so much effort into sending. They have been great. Also, our class team sessions have been fab. Thank you for making them so much fun. We've loved them. We're so excited to all be back together with you in your lovely classroom soon. Thank you from all of 1C. So to all of our year one shout outs, a big So before we move on to year 2, I was just going to say, if you stick around to the end of the video, you might find out what's in here. Someone gave me this yesterday. I'm going to open it at the end and have a little look. So there you go. There's a little teaser to keep you tuned in. Right, year 2. Let's hear about year 2. So they say, well, so first off from Miss Divine, she says, well, 2D, what can I say? You've taken remote learning in your stride, and I've been so proud of each and every one of you. You've all managed to put a smile on my face each and every day and made me feel like a very lucky teacher. I've loved seeing your faces each week on our Teams calls. My highlight was when we played musical statues. You all had so much energy and your dancing was fantastic. Another highlight has to be our Sailor Wow Week. I loved seeing the photos of some of you dressed up, dancing the hornpipe dance and even doing some sailor fitness. I'm sure you'll return to school on Monday with this energy, if not even more. I'm going to miss you all so much whilst I'm recovering from my surgery, but I know that you will wow Mr. Marsh, and I can't wait to hear about all the amazing things that you have been up to. I'd also like to say a huge, massive, gigantic thank you to Rachel, 2D's class rep. She's been a fantastic link between myself and all of the parents, whilst also juggling homeschooling and providing remote learning herself. Nothing has ever been too much trouble, whether it was the daily videos, forwarding messages, sending videos, or messages back to me. I think the parents will agree with me when I say that I couldn't have done this without you forwarding all of those videos and messages. And I'm sure you will be glad to have a break from my morning messages. And Mrs. Brown says, I would like to shout out to all of the children in my class, whether they've been at home or at school. They've been absolutely amazing, and I am so proud of them all. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to Mrs. Hodges, who has definitely gone above and beyond during this time with all of her videos for the children and all of her support in school too. I'd also like to say a huge shout out to all of the parents for doing such a fantastic job during this time. And finally, to my class rep for being such a support to both me and all of the parents. Well done to every one of you. Okay, so what have we got to say back to Miss Devine and Mrs. Brown? So first off, to Miss Devine, they say the parents and children of 2D would like to say a massive thank you to Miss Devine for her hard work over the lockdown. She's always very cheery and enthusiastic in her videos, which have been engaging and upbeat for the children. She's always on hand to answer and queries from the parents, and she goes above and beyond to support us. The children have really engaged in your team's meetings each week, especially when Rocco the cat makes an appearance. The children are sad you won't be with them when they return to school on the 8th, but they would like to wish you a speedy recovery after your knee operation. And, turning my page, and they look forward to spending the rest of the year with you when you're well enough to return. Thanks again for all that you've done. You've not had the easiest start to your career, but you've shown your dedication to the job, and you have gone above and beyond in all that you do. And to Mrs. Brown, they say, Mrs. Brown is an inspiration to all of us. She and her daughters have kept the class well entertained on their Teams calls. She's got a great sense of humour with the children who think it's hilarious that she claims that she never stands on tables. The children love her daily shout-outs and they love her words of encouragement with smiles on their faces when they see her on the screen. She has worked tirelessly, always giving lovely, encouraging feedback in response to their schoolwork done at home. She's gone above and beyond to tend to the individual needs of children. This has spurred on not only the children, but the parents administering the homeschooling. I think it's safe to say not only the children have learned from the homeschooling, but the parents have learned a few things too. 2B parents have a newfound enormous respect for Mrs. B and for all the Wheatfield teaching and support staff. Thank you for being an awesome teacher, and good luck on Monday when you have a class full of very excitable children. So well done to everyone in year 2. Okay, so before we move on to our year 3-4 team, I guess lots of staff are getting thank yous today. And from me, I can't extend my thanks enough to the whole staff team, whether that's our teaching staff, our TAs, our office staff, our support staff, kitchen staff, the cleaners, our governors. Each and every one of you have just worked tirelessly throughout this period, and you've injected so much into it. And I am very, very grateful on behalf of our whole community. It is a team effort. And when it looks like things are running smoothly, it's because of all the stuff that you don't see that happens behind the scene just to keep everything going. So staff team, amazing. However, I don't want to single anyone out, but there are 4 people I work with really closely and they don't have their own class and they're not getting a mention today. And that is Mr. Woodworth, Mrs. Marsden, Mrs. Roberts, and Mrs. Hickson. And rather than just talk endlessly, I've written you a little verse for each of you. So here we go. If I need a cordon or an exit plan, then Mr. Woodworth, he's my man. Traffic cones, barriers, pop-up fences, Woodworth's the one I always dispenses. Organised, itemised, caring in manner, Mr. Woodworth is Wheatfield's #1 planner. If I need a process overhauling, Mrs. Marsden's the one I find myself calling. Details, deadlines, dates and times, she reads above, below and between the lines, always plugging the gaps I've missed. Mrs. M is Wheatfield's #1 strategist. If I need a project handling with care, Mrs. Roberts is the one who's always there. Sensitive, positive, calm and kind, she makes sure no one is left behind, encouraging us all to make the world fairer. Mrs. Roberts is Wheatfield's #1 carer. If I need the facts and figures quick, Mrs. Hickson's the one I always pick. Slick with a spreadsheet, first through the gates, she tots up the sums and tells me it's straight. Saving us all from financial pain, Mrs. Hickson is Wheatfield's #1 brain. So thank you to all of our amazing team. Year 3 then. So Miss Daly and Miss Gregory would like to say a massive well done to all of Year 3 who have been absolutely amazing throughout this period of remote learning. They've all shown such resilience and determination and made us incredibly proud. We've missed you all so much and we can't wait to be back in the classroom together. During our remote learning, the children have been working so hard at home and in school. They've been learning about the Stone Age, different types of rocks and how they're formed, 3 different religions, Quentin Blake's style of drawing, Van Gogh's style of painting, as well as some fantastic writing and lots of maths, including money and measure. And that's just to name a few. They have been incredibly busy. Miss Daly and Miss Gregory have both loved catching up with you all each week on their Teams meetings. We've had lots of show and tells, some reading, some quizzes, some games, and a lot of fun. Thank you for being so mature and respectful during every single one of these meetings. You should be very proud of yourselves. We'd also like to say a huge thank you to all of our parents. We think you've done such a fantastic job at helping the children with their remote learning, even though we know it hasn't always been easy. We appreciate all of your efforts. You've been so kind and supportive throughout. Of course, another huge thank you to Mrs. Harrison. You've been such a wonderful rep to both classes. You've helped us stay in contact with the children, you've passed on endless messages, and you've always helped out when we have technical difficulties. We couldn't have done it without you. Lastly, to all of the adults in Year 3, Mrs. Foote, Mrs. Medina, and Mrs. Goldstone, you've been amazing as always. We can't thank you enough for your help and support. We are so lucky to have you. So, this is what the families have got to say back to you, teachers. So, to Miss Gregory, 3G has missed you. Your video messages have helped to motivate the children to try their best, even under difficult conditions. They've loved showing and telling on Teams. They've loved playing the fun games that you've organised for them. Your writing lessons have kept them interested in storytelling, and they cannot wait to see you next week. And to Miss Daly, thank you from 3D for supporting us throughout our home learning. You are our favourite quizmaster, and we appreciate the work that you've put into recording all of your lessons online. We've been excited to play games and catch up on Teams meetings, and we can't wait to be back in the classroom with you next week. So a round of applause for our Year 3 team. Now, before we go to Year 4, I found this on my desk yesterday. And when I opened it up, there was a single egg, no surprises, and a note. Let's have a quick look. Who is the note from? It says, Dear Mr. Winterburn, we heard that you were doing shout-outs in assembly, so please can you give one for us? We would like to shout out to the Year 5 bubble that have been taking good care of us. We can't wait to see the rest of the chicken crew when they are back next week. From the Wheatfield Chickens. There we go. Shout out from the chickens. I tell you what, those chickens have got amazing handwriting. Okay, now let's move on to our Year 4 team. So Miss Long and Miss Paget would like to say that Year 4 have been superstars during this home learning period. They've shown resilience, determination and hard work in their learning, and we have loved our team's chats. Every day they put a smile on our faces, and we're extremely proud to be their teachers. During our home learning, the children have been busy sculpting icebergs, writing stories, learning about polar biomes and using the outdoor space in maths lessons. We thoroughly enjoyed receiving your home learning, and the icebergs was certainly something spectacular. We have many exciting things to come in Year 4, and we can't wait to all be together again soon. We would like to say a huge thank you to our parents. They've been brilliant throughout this period, and we think that you've done a fantastic job teaching your children at home. You've been extremely kind and supportive, and we greatly appreciate all that you have done. We'd also like to send a special thank you to our parent reps. You've been an important link between us and the parents, and you've been an excellent line of communication and allowed us to stay connected with the children. Thank you. We appreciate every message that you've sent and your constant support. Lastly, a thank you to the brilliant Mrs. McEwen and the fabulous Mrs. Poles. You both have been incredible during this period. We've loved your calculation videos, spelling and handwriting support. We can't thank you enough for your constant kindness and support. So let's hear what we've got to say back to Miss Long and Miss Paget. So to Miss Long first, 4L would like to thank Miss Long for going above and beyond and for keeping the class's spirits high during home learning. Your bubbly videos each week have kept us all motivated. We've loved being part of your puzzle journey, and we excitedly awaited each new instalment so we could get a step closer to working out what the picture would be, parents included. Nothing is ever too much trouble, and your support has been hugely appreciated by the 4L families. And to Miss Paget, 4M/4P would like to say a huge thank you to Miss Paget. Your online lessons have been amazing. They've been so interesting and helpful, and all the children have really benefited from them. They've also enjoyed their team's catch-ups and the fun things that they've done in them. We all know you're just on the end of an email for any worries or concerns that we may have, or even just to share a piece of work or some exciting news. Also, a huge thank you to Mrs. Poles, who sent out some fab videos and have been on a lot of Teams calls too. The children can't wait to be back in class with you. Also, thank you to Miss Long for all of your lessons too. They've been fab. Thank you to all the Wheatfield staff. You are amazing. So a big round of applause to everyone in year 4. Right, so before we move on, a couple of thank yous to me aimed at the family. So hopefully you've appreciated getting lots of thanks from the teachers. This is a little one from me, or a little couple. So first off to the reps. Reps, you have been so valuable during this period. You've worked so hard and you've done it with good grace. Here's a little verse that I've scribbled down for the reps. Hip hip hooray to our fine reps today. Copying, sending, the roll never ending, messages, questions, videos, suggestions, send me the link, miles of electronic ink, tweeting it, liking it, deleting it, writing it, day after day, never a delay, always connected and bile rep-spected. There you go. Big thanks to the reps. And then parents, we couldn't have done it without you. We're not saying it's been easy. It's been what it's been, but we are where we are now. We're back in school on Monday. So parents, just remember the good bits. Okay, remember that you had 8 weeks alone with your children and you helped them to learn, and you've been amazing substitutes for our teaching staff. Parents, so I got a little verse for all the families, especially those who've been homeschooling. So we all came back on the 4th of Jan. That night, Boris unveiled his latest plan. Lockdown 3, the unwelcome sequel. Families wailed, this ain't fair or equal. We did our best in 1 and 2. Now you're telling us there's a 3rd to get through? But Wheatfield's families knuckled down, grasped the nettle, dropped the frown, took a deep breath, fixed a smile, then more than went the extra mile. In fact, they gave hope room to breathe and inspired their children to believe. So families, thank you. Your final certificate of the era is winging its way across to you today. Big well done to all of our families. Okay, so our final couple of year groups now, year 5 and 6. So year 5 say we are both utterly blown away by how brilliant year 5 have been during home learning. We've loved our Teams meetings where we've connected, played games, completed challenges and thought about our school values. The standard of work sent in has been immense, and the children have been really creative when presenting their learning. We've received space-themed artwork, secret messages via Morse code and ciphers, teaching videos, and science models made out of things found at home. The Bubble crew have spent the last 10 weeks working as a solid team and brightening our lockdown days. Ms. Rutherford has really enjoyed connecting with 5R and receiving everything from stories, jokes, piano and French horn concerts, poetry recitals, audio books of 5R original stories, all on top of their learning. She can't wait to be back together next week. Mrs. Elmore has had, despite the madness, an absolute hoot with her bunch of legends. What an incredible job you've all done. Their emails and fantabulous examples of work have brightened every day. Who knew how creative and amazing they all were? Just kidding, we've known it all along. You should be so proud of yourselves. Here's to our reunion on Monday. We would like to say a big thank you not only to Year 5, but also to their families for the support that they've given with learning, emails and general tech support. Our special mentions go out to Adrienne and Laura, our amazing class reps, and Mrs. Wasim, who's been in charge of lunch times in Year 5. Mr. Winsburn, Mr. Woodworth, Mrs. Marsden, and Miss Garraway for helping us navigate these crazy times. And last, but never least, the incredible force of nature that is Mrs. Boys, who's not only been with the Bubble every day, but has created incredible maths, art tutorials and challenges, which Year 5 have loved stretching their brains with. So what have the families got to say back to you? So to Ms. Rutherford, they say the most mega of thank yous to our superstar teacher, Ms. Rutherford. The children and parents have been on an at-home learning adventure that's been out of this world whilst reading Cosmic. We've all become fractions fanatics and we're all writing more wonderfully, all thanks to your never-ending and unwavering support. We've kept in touch with online lessons, video check-ins, countless emails and super fun Teams calls, which have meant that we've all felt together even though we've been apart. We can't wait to get back to the classroom. We've missed you. See you Monday, or should we say Mun Yay, from the Year 5 superstars. Sorry, the Year 5 are superstars. And to Mrs. Elmore, they say, Mrs. Elmore, what an inspiration she has been to the whole class, both parents and children. She's kept us entertained with her daily videos, singing and dancing. How many hats can a teacher own? We've all loved seeing her cat regularly feature in the videos, and the support she's provided has been immense. It's been lovely to play lots of different games on Mondays and Thursdays too, especially the Guess Who game. Everyone is really looking forward to going back to school next Monday. Thank you, Mrs. Elmore. You have been our rock. So big round of applause to the Year 5 team. Okay, so Year 6 then. So what the teachers got to say? They say, well, Year 6, what could we say? It's been a crazy couple of months. You've taken it in your stride. We've been so impressed with the maturity that you have shown. You've demonstrated all of our Wheatfield values and more. It's been so great to see you taking responsibility for your own learning, for emailing us, and for joining our drop-in sessions when you've needed to. It hasn't always been an easy journey, but you've shown your best selves, and we're sure that you are one step closer to being prepared for secondary school. That's not in the too distant future. All of those new independent learning skills would definitely be of use when you're juggling the homework next year. A massive well done to each and every one of you. You've done yourselves proud, and we can't wait to have you all back together next week. We also need to say a big well done and a big thank you to Mrs. Boys. She's been in school every day supporting Year 5, but she's found time to record stories, send baby photos, and of course provided weekly maths, art and maths challenges to all of you. Thank you for your unwavering commitment, Mrs. Boys, and to Mrs. Tayaji. It's been invaluable having your support in the Year 6 bubble over the last couple of weeks. Thanks for your hard work and everything you've done to support the children who've been in school. So now a couple of individual messages. So Miss White says, wow. Miss White would like to say a huge thank you to 6W for all of the efforts that they've put in through this past term of home learning. Their efforts and politeness over emails has really made difficult days working from home just that little bit easier. I've loved hearing about all the different things that everyone's been up to, from baking and making things out of wood in the garden. Some highlights for this term was seeing all of your efforts during our home learning screen-free challenge day and watching videos of lots of children delivering news reports and dancing in their living rooms. I've really enjoyed our geography work and seeing your research on mountains and volcanoes. You've all tried your best. You've shown resilience, responsibility, and kindness, and have blown me away. A huge shout out to Marie. She's been an absolute star parent rep, always passing messages to me from parents and giving reminders out of any messages that I've sent. I hope she's having a relaxing break with her 3 children back in school. Once her 3 children are back in school next week, she's a superstar. And Miss Garraway would like to once again say thank you to every single member of 6G. She's had emails and seen work and photographs from every single person during this lockdown, some people emailing her every day. One highlight for Miss Garraway has been reading all the wonderful writing that you've been doing. It's been so good to read all of your geography and science writing and your linked English non-fiction writing. I hope you keep up the fantastic standard when you are back in school. Another highlight has been to be part of your art project, making clay pots. It was so fantastic to see every single one of you make the effort to come into school to collect your clay. And I love seeing the photos of your different clay pots. I'm really looking forward to you bringing them in next week to be painted and varnished. And the final highlight has to be the food. All the wonderful food that has been cooked and baked by you guys over the last few months. There's been cakes, biscuits, Chinese New Year feasts, breads and meals for the whole family, to name just a few. Some of your families have really lucked out in being locked down with so many aspiring chefs. A final shout out to Sally, our 6G parent rep. Thank you for always being on the end of WhatsApp to pass on messages, correct my mistakes, and send videos. And thank you for the messages of thanks and encouragement across the lockdown. We've all been in it together, and we're finally coming out the other side. We can't wait to see all of Year 6 on Monday. Have a restful weekend. And back now to Miss White and Miss Garraway. So Miss White, firstly, thank you for the amazing support you've given the class over the last couple of months. You've been quick to respond to queries, and you've done an awesome job providing online lessons and learning materials. The class have looked forward to the catch-up sessions on Teams and appreciate the effort you put into the fun games like the baby photo quiz and the Guess Who game. The class is thankful to be to the whole of Year 6 for all the work that they've put into the home learning provision. We're really lucky to have you, and the class is excited to see everyone in person next week. And to Miss Garraway, it all started on Sunday the 6th of December when we found out that our school life would be disrupted again. But this time we knew that things would be different. We knew what we needed to do, and we knew that we had a happy smile, contagious to all of us, a caring heart of gold, a role model by our side. Miss Garraway, you set the bar high, and you've shown us that sometimes all we can do is try. Some days have been grim, grey skies, cold, unable to reach out to our friends, and what felt like a mountain of schoolwork to get through. Sometimes our mood has been low, and this has felt like an endless journey. But throughout this time, our education you have supported us with, and our families. We've achieved goals that we never imagined we could reach. As our teacher, you've greatly motivated us to become the best we possibly can be. You've had our best intentions at heart, from fractions of volcanoes, holes to the fun team meetings. We've learned so much, not just about school, but about ourselves too. You've become a YouTube superstar, answered all of our emails, been there for us at 12:10 for the meetups, split yourself into so many pieces to hold us all together. You're a great support, and so many of us would not have managed to get through this without you by our side. We know you will enjoy being back as much as we will. We're looking forward to it and to having our last few terms in primary school with you. It's really simply a massive thank you from 6G. So to everyone in Team Year 6, Okay, so before we say our final goodbyes, a couple of things from me. So I've been told to remind you that the Masked Singer, I know you've been enjoying the Masked Singer, the Masked Singer reveal will be put out at about 3:30 today. So teachers will be sending out those links to find out who is behind the mask. Next thing from me, we're going to meet up today at 3 o'clock for hot chocolate, 3 o'clock. So if you would like to give any shout outs that have been missed out, you should be able to comment on this video. Not long after this assembly finishes, you can leave a comment on the video and I will read those at 3 o'clock. Okay, hot chocolate at 3. And then finally, oh yeah, I've got to open this. So this appeared in my office yesterday. Okay, and I was asked to open it up today in assembly. So let's have a little look. It says, to Mr. Winterburn. It's another verse, but not written by me this time. To Mr. Winterburn, things used to be simple, things used to be easy, but now we have worries that might make us queasy. Keeping things going, keeping things safe, keeping things distant, but in the same place. It's been an odd year, no one can deny, but the Wheatfield spirit will always lift us high. A man of many hats and a YouTube sensation. Here are a few additions for your character creation. So to our wonderful head teacher and our wonderful staff, here's one more dress up that should bring a little laugh. One more dress up. Yes, we do seem to have an awful lot of dressing up things in the Winterburn house. I can't think why. Oh my goodness, let's see what we've got in here. So I have got, okay, so a sailor's hat. Okay, I've always fancied being an admiral. There we go, a sailor's hat. Thank you so much. I have got, oh, now I believe this is called, I don't know if you know what this is called. This is called a deer stalker. Okay, and a deer stalker. Okay, you may have seen a famous detective, one Sherlock Holmes, wearing a deer stalker. Haven't got a deer stalker. Thank you. What else have we got? Yeah, a crown. Liking that. Okay, I think a king is even better than an admiral. Happy to have a crown. Let's see what else we've got in here. I think Sherlock Holmes. To go with the deer stalker, let's put the deer stalker back on. Hang on, if I can find it. Hang on, right, get it on the right way round. So Sherlock Holmes often had a pipe, okay, and also a magnifying glass for solving clues. That is fantastic. So listen, if we ever have lockdown 4, and let's hope that we don't, I've got some new props to use. And if I can't use it, then I'll maybe find a way to use it in my assemblies. So listen, thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for staying tuned in. It's been quite a long one. Thank you to everyone. I hope we've missed no one out. You're a wonderful team. We look forward to seeing you on Monday, but hopefully before then, we will see you at 3 for hot chocolate. Put some comments on and let's have a few more shout outs and a bit more positivity before we finish. Let's end with a massive Wheatfield round of applause. Bye everyone.